Okay. All right. We are here. We're at Gordy's house. So we just cut down this big, huge cottonwood. I'm not sure which video I'm going to post first. Probably just do whichever one's easier to edit. But we just cut down that huge cottonwood, and that was pretty cool. Anyways, but we're here. Inbred Jed was kind enough to come here today, and we're going to talk some more about square grinding. So before, on my old channel, I did a video with Jed where he showed us how to use a triangle file, and I got a lot of questions on that video, you know, about where to get the files and stuff. So, and actually we didn't even talk about all the types of files, because there are actually 3 different ways to go about this that I've seen Jed do. There's a square file, double bevel file, and a goof file. So this will be, you know, we're gonna try to make a tutorial about square grinding by hand, you know, square filing, chainsaw chain, and we're gonna show you all the files that you can use. And that way you'll probably have the best idea of which system looks like it'd be the easiest for you. And I'll try to get you more details on where to get the files and everything. So we've got, this is Jed's 500i. We've got to get, I'm gonna put this bar and chain on it. This is a brand new chain, 32 inches, and we'll do a test cut to see how it does. Jed will sharpen it up, and then we will compare it. Here's Gordy.
He's about 35 on that one.
Yeah, we'll have to,
There's 25.
I gotta get me one of those gauges, Gordy.
Just came out.
Sweet.
There you go, you can have that one.
Nice. So we'll use this to measure the Rakers. And yeah, it should be pretty sweet. I think Jed's taking his contacts out or something. Yeah, this is Gordy's shop here. This is Gordy's museum. He's kind enough to let us film in here. It's actually like a really sweet setup.
I'll be back.
Okay. There's Jed.
Everything in here is beautiful.
I know, dude. It's so cool.
I just want to stand in here and smell.
Yeah. His tree Zach, I don't know if you remember Zach from when we were down in Oregon. He milled all this for, he was that really super deep voice, the really tall guy. Yeah. He milled all this for Gordy.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah, he is. Jed, you want to throw this this factory chain on your saw?
Yep.
What the heck is that? He's got a booby trapped in here.
Not Inbred Jed proof.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, bar wrench.
You'll see Jed's chain on here. This is a full comp, so it's like a bunch of teeth, and you'll notice this is a skip tooth, so it's 1/3 as many teeth, or 2/3 as many teeth. Let's see if I can get that next to it.
Mm-hmm. 1 space right there, right, and 2 spaces here. So I think that's 1/3.
Is it 1/3 or is it half as many? It feels like half as many when you're sharpening it.
Yeah,
Wouldn't it be half as many cutters if you have? Well, I don't know. So you see, you got 2 tie straps in between the cutters, and you got 1 tie strap. This is what comes on saws most of the time. This will give you less kickback, and it's also more teeth, and this will give you a little more kickback. So basically, the way that we decide which chain sequence to run, because this is called full skip, this is full comp, and then there's one in between where it's like every other, and they call that semi-skip. And the way that we decide which one to do, here, I'll hold this. You know, maybe
yeah.
So just real quick, because I always think I'll make a video about it, but I never talk about chain sequencing. But the way we decide, basically, it's like how much power head do you have behind the chain that's spinning. So if it's like a really long bar, I'll do a full skip. You know, if it's like a 42-inch chain, I'll do full skip, because that's fewer teeth that the saw has to push through the wood to sever wood. Where if it's a really short bar, you know, like say, like this is a pretty short bar for this saw. This is a 28-inch bar on an 80cc saw. So there's a lot of power head pulling the teeth. So you can add teeth in the chain sequencing to increase your cutting speed. But if you have too many teeth, then the chain starts to bog down if it can't handle that much. So if we, you know, if I were running a 32 on this, then I'd want probably fewer teeth. So yeah, but if it's like a small saw, you know, if this is on a 260 to 362, then even though this is the same length bar, I would want a full skip, because that's more power. The power head to tooth ratio is better. So you kind of, and I'm always like experimenting, going back and forth, trying to figure out which one's better. But basically, if you've got the power behind it, you can run a bunch of teeth. But frankly, I usually prefer skip tooth anyways, just because it's way fewer teeth to sharpen.
Right.
So but it does kick back a little more. You gotta remember that. So here, I'll trade you.
Yeah.
Inbred.
Yeah.
Thanks. They make it confusing just having so many options, when you're buying chainsaw chain.
Skip. Everybody's like, what? Why semi? It's funny how unpopular semi-skip is as a sequence.
Yeah. It's like the middle child
Yeah,
of the
like,
chain world.
Yeah, he's sitting there on the Madsens shelves going, what's wrong with me?
Yeah, nobody loves semi-skip.
Nobody has an 80 cc's?
Yeah.
How is like semi-skip so unpopular?
You'd think it would be the most popular, being right in the middle.
Right in the middle. Yeah. No, nobody wants. We're hot or cold. Lukewarm.
Yeah.
It's like, nah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like the captive bar nuts?
Yes, of course. I think everybody does.
Yeah. Probably a stupid question.
No.
Well, there's always the guy that hates everything new,
I like the old ones. Yeah. We're all getting old, man, and it's like we like what's familiar to ourselves. That's the only thing that has currency, is like what's familiar to you. That's like all three guys, and I love those guys. Like, I'm one of them too. It's like there's so much new stuff that's like, well, maybe that shaves 1/10 of a second. It just seems superfluous. Like, most of us old guys are like that. It's like, how's that really gonna help? But things are changing. You should take a look at the new stuff.
You say that one day, and then the next day you switch your system, and now you look down on everybody who's 1/10 of a second slower than you.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So we're just throwing her on for demonstration purposes, are these? Yeah, we'll go with that oil hole. Looks good. I should almost have not drunk any beer before I did this.
This video is sponsored by Elysian,
They make
the cutter's choice.
headache-free beer. It is too.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing. Not that. Oh, when your chain is on backwards, you have to file this in, making it way more difficult.
Yeah, for a second I was like, yeah, have me for a second.
Did sponsor this one, unfortunately. Sorry. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe if you want to see a video where we put the chain on correctly.
You can put it on straight. It's going to cut faster. It will. I'm here to tell you right now it will.
Yeah, objectively it is faster if the sharp part faces the tree.
Sure.
All right, cool. We're gonna do some test cuts.
Yeah. Oh, so this is stock chain?
Yeah, it's a stock.
Yeah. Can I film you doing it?
If you like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys are seeing how fast she'll go through it?
Yeah, this is stock chain.
Yeah, so we'll cut it stock,
Yeah.
and then Jed's gonna sharpen it, and then we'll cut it again.
Nice wood pile, by the way.
Right?
Yep.
That's all east side stuff. Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jed probably cut some of that.
No, well.
I'd probably cut some
Where do
too.
we get
Jake
some
might have cut a
tamarack?
twig.
I want to get into
Tamarack?
some tamarack.
You need to talk to loggers. Gordy will set you up.
Man, and I won't dog in. I'll just try to be as even as possible.
Yeah.
For the before and after.
Yeah.
Okay.
Someone watching this, they'll say, you could have applied more manual pressure. They'll say, you could have dogged in and put more pressure and it would have cut faster.
Yeah. maybe not. I don't know. That's debatable, right? That's actually a subject of debate. Is it faster to go straight through or to dog in? But it doesn't matter because all that matters is I'm going to make the subsequent cut in the same manner. And so it'll be apples to apples, you know? So maybe I could have cut better or something in theory, but it won't matter because I'll be the same sawyer on the next one too.
Yep. Here's your...
36.
Look at how loose that is. I had that tight.
Man, that's bad.
Yeah.
It's really hard wood too, though. So...
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So Jed, I figured just like try to your best to calculate whatever a third, so sharpen a third of the chain with one file, and then we just switch it to another file, sharpen a third, and so on. If you do the 3 different types of files, I don't think it's gonna matter.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So
Wilton, where'd you get this vise?
because the files are different, but the concept is the same. You're creating the same structure of the tooth with the 3 different files. So
Jed, you see how when you depth plate there, Jacob just throws it on the ground.
thought that's where it went. Sorry.
You know what's... That's
hand sharp.
Okay.
That's an impressive. Like that just as a piece of material right there, it's like laser straight. How thin is that?
Hey, I don't want to get a Legion upset, you know. Too many sponsorships in one video, you know. We can't.
They'll take back all their advertising money.
Yeah. You can give it a shot after you get her all hand filed on there.
How does that work?
That's 25. Then you move it back. That's 35.
Oh,
That's 40. And that's about 50
so
something.
50 thousandths of an inch, is that
Yeah.
what it is?
That
And then
is
this is
so
for the right,
cool,
like,
Gordon.
right Raker.
So you only need one
Go
guide.
across like that.
Okay, what if the file, is the file going to chew through that?
It's going to take a long time.
Yeah.
I don't rub the file on those gauges personally.
We haven't worn one out yet.
Yeah.
What's it made out of? What's it made out of, Gordy?
Kryptonite?
Top secret.
Top
Yeah,
secret.
It's adamantine Gordy metal.
It's unobtainium.
Gordy. Yeah, unobtainium.
Well, let's see these files. Can we put all 3 next to each other or
Just
something?
tighten this because it's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
little bit slack
Right.
already.
I always drink a bunch of Elysians.
Before I do any kind of dangerous tree work.
You gotta drink a lot.
Super. You know, I heard this logger one time, and he was like, "Yeah, I had this really good climber, but he wouldn't go up there without drinking."
What? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Who's that
crazy.
Travis guy?
Crazy.
Yeah,
Travis?
yeah,
I don't remember.
Yeah, he was like there like a week, but
I don't remember. That's so
not the
wild.
way to get brave.
Right.
But it works. I'm here to tell you it works.
Yeah, I never cut a tree without drinking at least 6 delicious
6,
Elysians.
dude. That's overindulgence.
Dude, I haven't had a drink in 3 years, more than 3
I'm
years.
proud of you for it.
I'd probably pass out, drink 2, and black out.
Such an overrated pleasure. Look at how the side plate is like way out ahead of the top plate. So my dirty fingernail here records the top plate. Here's the side plate. It's like the side plate is jutting out farther.
if I can
That
zoom in.
won't cut at all, as everybody knows.
Yeah, I was cutting really poorly.
Yeah. So,
Actually zooming pretty good with this phone.
yeah.
Okay. So yeah, let's just see these 3 files.
Yeah, okay. 3 files out.
And I'll try to find these files online. If I can find them online, I'll put the links in the description. Otherwise, I'll put the number that you can call to get them. I'll try to figure it out in the description when I make this video.
This is a Fared, the horsey on there. Fared, I think Fared is German for horse. But these are quite, well, I won't say cheap, but for double bevel files, they're not bad. These are cheap. These are Save Edge Goof files from Portugal. So Save Edge, Fared, that's a round file. The key to square filing too is round filing. The triangle file looks like it poked through my bag. I bet you it's in here. And this is
What kind of handle is that?
Inbred jet handle. That's a Valorb file
Valorb.
from Switzerland, and I
Okay.
think they make all of Still's round files. So
Oh, okay.
1364 is round file, 732. Valorb, I believe, makes all the round files.
So yeah, Jed's a super nerd when it comes to files. So this is what we've got here. So this is your goof file. It's basically a flat file with, what do you call these? What do you call the filey grabby part?
I don't know. File teeth?
The teeth. So it's basically a flat file, but it has teeth on the sides right there. This is a double bevel file, which is basically a flat file, but then you see that you've got it comes almost like a
trapezoid.
Trapezoid, okay.
Trapezoid.
Is that okay? I'm trusting you on that. And
Trapezoidal, Jake.
Yeah.
Hexagonal.
This is a hexagonal.
It looks hexagonal.
It looks
man.
pretty. It looks triangle if you're far. It looks hexagonal if you're close. It's technically a hexagonal, but we call it a triangle file because it's a triangle, and that's a round file. That's your typical run-of-the-mill round file right there. So with these three, Jed is able to get a square edge on a tooth. We'll show you how to use each one, and you can decide which one you want to take a crack at. So, all right, Jed, let's.
For me, the key to square filing is round filing. Might sound counterintuitive, but here's the thing: when you try to do this, where's the beginning of the chain? Did I tighten that? Nope.
In the video I made on my old channel, we compared, and it's been demonstrated that doing it the square filing is, what is it, Jed, 23% faster, something like that. I don't know. It's faster.
Your math concurred, Jake.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the new math, right? Yeah. Well, so
Common Core math.
Yeah, so I don't know the exact measurement, but it's faster. Round filing is probably going to be quicker, but this is it's a real art if you can figure it out. I have a really hard time doing it, but Jed's like the master at it.
Well, no, but the speed of, like, I'm a tree service guy, so the speed of a 16-inch diameter, 16-inch length round firewood round, if you chunk down 120 foot for taking 16-inch pieces, you start out with doubles or 4-footers or whatever you start with, but there's so many cuts that you have to make that if you have square ground chain, you're going to be on the ground, you're going to be off your spurs like half an hour faster.
Right.
So the key to this, as I see it, is, and I try to preach this to all the guys at Eastside. Like Nash the other day, he's like, will you show me how to square grind? I'm like, sure. I grab a round file. Wait, what are you doing? I'm creating a void. Look at the angle. I'm coming in, like 45 is like there. I'm coming in like this. And I'm scooping out all of this superfluous gullet material, which is just going to impede the travel of your file. So if you do this, and guys don't do it, they just grab the square file and they go at it, and the file is binding because it's encountering all this material right in here, and they're chattering and they're skipping and they're breaking off teeth as they file through because they're grabbing way too much material down here low in the gullet. So if you scoop all that out, you're going to be having a way better time.
So you're just scooping out all the gullet first, and then you're going to make your cutting edges afterwards. Yeah. And do you have to scoop out the gullet like this with the round file every time you do this?
With the round file?
Yeah.
No.
This is just the initial, because you've got so much gullet built up.
It's a stock chain, and they don't even gullet grind this for you. Like, when they put their square ground machine in, they already leave you with like an 1/8 of an inch of gullet in there. Right. And now your file is just wedging into the chisel, which is no fun.
So remove the bottom superfluous part of the tooth,
right.
And then after that, now you work on your cutting edges. Once that garbage is out of there.
Get all that out. Leave yourself a 1/16 of an inch of side plate. The side plate's this part right in here. When we chew through wood, we're just taking little snowflakes of wood. That's like maybe a 1/16 of an inch.
Okay.
I mean, it's technically, what is it, 25,000, 7-inch stock Raker.
Yeah.
Raker to chisel height. So 25,000ths of an inch. If you leave yourself that on the side plate, then that's more than enough to sever the wood properly.
Right.
Anything else that you scoop out below that is just a bonus for chip flow.
Chip flow, got it. Okay. And remember when I just did it with the round file and then I took the gullet out, and then it was a 15% increase, even just the round filing. So I round filed the chain, did a cut on a video on my old channel, and then I took the gullet out,
Yeah.
And just a few strokes taking the gullet out, 15% increase in cutting speed.
I'm going 5, 6. I might take 7. I might not. That's a lot. Look at that giant. And if you guys know Buck and Billy Ray, do what he says about the boat stroke. Look at these goofy strokes I'm taking.
Yeah.
I'm going like down. Like, it's like when you're using a manual saw to cut through a tree. You don't just go straight on. You scoop material out. And so I might take 6 strokes, and there's like this massive void in there.
Okay.
So, yeah, see, it shatters when it hits that hook. That little craw in there. And just tap out your file. Some guys, Corey Bailey from back east, he uses a file card. I've never tried that. I think that's an admirable thing to do, to save out files, to use a file card to clean out your file teeth, but I've never known anyone who did that, but Corey is like the tree guy of all East Coast tree guys. Taking down giant, the guy's 62.
Wow.
He gets up there and like takes out massive trees.
Okay, so let's scoop out all the material and then we get to square filing.
Yeah. What kind of cigar is that?
Macanuno.
Where'd you get that?
They sell cigars there.
Maple Valley?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah. It's done.
So you got all the gullet out?
Yeah, all the gullets.
All right. All the gullets out.
And
All right, which one's first?
Everybody who knows Jake's videos will remember that this triangle works by just running the flat part. So I'm not even on the tooth. I'm just coming out here on the tie strap. The flat part will just go down flatly. Yeah, let's get it away from that chain to tighten it up. And that's the old redneck chain tensioner. Away from that. You'll never ever break your chain or goof anything up on your saw. And then as you file a tooth, you want to be flat. Here's the thing, everybody's like, what do I do on the tooth? Well, just get the flat part of the file to file flatly on the tie strap. And that's how you know your angles are right. So when you're in the tooth, just go flat. And if you're digging to either side on the tie strap, then it's not the proper angle. So you're coming in at about a 45-degree angle. Undercut the side plate a bit. Let's say you want a little bit of a side beak. Well, back up from the whole project, and that's, I'm gonna say, a 20-degree forward side plate kick. Jake, can you show them the side plate over on this side?
Well, maybe I'll just show, which one were you pointing at?
Yeah, this tooth.
I'll just show this one then. Is that good? If I show from both, or
I didn't even do that one.
well, right, but you're trying to compare, right?
Yeah, so
Okay.
So there's the one I filed.
Okay.
And that's eating forward, I'd say between 10 and 20 degrees
Okay.
on the side plate. So if this is straight up and down 90 degrees, mine is like, say, 10 or 15 degrees.
Versus if I
Versus
go down
stock, we're calling that 5-degree forward side plate tilt.
Here. Okay.
But you see how much material sticking out on the side. That actually is not a bad one, but it is. That's too much side plate.
Okay.
So that's the triangle.
So, okay, want to do just another tooth or two with it, and
With this one, yeah.
and I'll just try to get some more angles of it.
Yeah. So that one's done. I'm gonna go on for another one. You're using the hex part. This, what do you call it? A 1/16 of an inch.
Yeah.
This 1/16 of an inch of the
That's
hexagon.
what's in the corner.
That's what's in the side plate.
This is okay.
So that's digging outside. And again, I'm trying to be flat. I'm trying to be flat on my tie strap or link, whatever you want to call that.
So just because geometrically how the thing is designed, when you've got the flat part flat on the tie strap, that puts the corner right where it needs to be.
It just magically.
Okay. And then
the top plate is very straight at, say, maximum 20 degrees, not 30 degrees like round file. And then that brings our side plate on this particular tooth about 10 degrees forward.
So Jed, when we round file, we file from, you know, like even when you were taking the gullet out, you were going this direction, you know, you're going with the tooth, and now you're going opposite of the tooth. Why is that?
Willie Ging from Southern Oregon Tree Care, he says, Jed, don't file downward in your tooth because the chrome, the file is encountering the chrome first, the chrome plating on the tooth first, and it's pushing it through the rest of the
part of the tooth is chrome and part steel?
Yeah. They do a slight, I'm going to sound like a moron here. I'm going to say veneer. It's not a veneer. Somebody at Oregon Cutting Systems could correct me as to how they chrome plate the top part of the tooth. Still does it much better. They have a thicker, a brighter color chrome. But
why do they do that?
Hardness.
Oh, okay.
So he says don't file down into the tooth because you're hitting the hard part of the chrome first and you're pushing it through the rest of the metal. Okay. I've never noticed a difference. Bucking goes like this. Bucking Billy Ray goes up. I personally can't do it. My vision's really, really bad. And I need to know that my corner of the file is exactly in the corner.
So you can do it either way, whatever's easier for you.
You can, right? But I find it very difficult to go this way.
Okay.
Like extremely difficult.
Okay. I've usually seen people do it the way you do it.
Yeah, that's the way I was taught to do it.
That's how Big Phil does it.
That's the way Jerry Brannick did it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, that's the triangle file.
Yep, that's triangle. And then that leaves us these two. This is the double bevel file.
Double bevel. Okay. And you see, and you can see what'd you call that, a trapezoid?
That's right. Yeah, the goof file, which is, the goof file, if you guys have seen, Jake just showed me, they've come out with a hexagonal file, which they mean to be operated at 90 degrees. The new still hexagonal. When is that going to come out in the States? Like 7 years from now?
Yeah, I've only seen it. The captions are always in German, so I have no idea.
And that is meant to produce a bit of a hook. And theirs is coming back at like 40 degrees of a side plate, super aggressive side plate. But it's not a true square grind. It's more like what Jerry Brannick would call like side beak technology. He used to do that for Sonar Tree Service with a mill bastard file. He would just undercut the side plate at 40 degrees with a straight up, if you go to Home Depot or if you go to Lowe's, get a mill bastard and undercut your top plate by a 1/16 of an inch. You're doing the exact same thing.
Okay.
So this is meant to be kind of a crossover between the round file and the square file. So the way you'd use that is just to, I'm not going right in the corner right now. You can, and I've done it, and it produces good results. But you'll get, and so I'm round filing now. Like I'm going in the direction.
Because the edge is actually rounded of the file.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? It's not blunt; it's slightly rounded.
Right.
Okay.
So I'm going up, and if you need a helper, and I do. Use a gauge. Here's an old, I used to have paint on here, but this is 40 degrees. This is about, no, I'm sorry, that's 35 degrees. That's
you
about
just
40.
Cut that yourself?
I cut it.
Okay.
It's an old, just flat file. You see there's no teeth there.
Yeah.
And I cut it at 40 degrees, and that enables you to get the chisel angle. So
you do that with your guide?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you just set that there.
And the advantage to these files are really inexpensive.
Really inexpensive. And if you're used to round filing and you like going the way that you round file, meaning outward toward the chrome.
Yeah, inside.
Yeah.
Outside. Yeah.
Try this file first and undercut your, go ahead and leave a bit of a craw, a bit of a nasty looking, gnarly craw on the side, such as that. Can your phone get in there?
They're pretty good.
It could if you were on the other side. You'd notice a nasty side beak.
Let me try.
Yeah. And that's a little bit extreme. I kind of went way too much. I undercut that way too much.
If I can get it from over here. Can you just point to it?
Yeah. So this right here.
Let me try to zoom in there. Okay, yeah.
That's a crazy side beak. And the downside is everybody says that will dull.
Let me get a little closer. Hold on.
Yeah. A lot of timber cutters on a Symington or on a Sylvie grinder, they'll do that intentionally, but not that extreme. The downside being that little
piece at the very tippy top. That's
that
protruding.
massive craw. I mean, that's a
Yeah.
bad one. They say that'll dull prematurely. Personally, as a tree service guy, I haven't really noticed.
Right.
I have not really noticed a prematurely dull chain that way. And that is the technology that Still is coming out with their hex.
Hex chain.
Yeah, they're just undercutting and making a nasty side beak right there. That will pull like mad.
Okay.
You guys want to keep your rakers no more than 25 thousandths. I would say 20, because it'll pull. You know, as far as like buckins, like stand up and buck, that will pull through the log like nobody's business. Will it cut wood faster when you bury the dogs? We need to measure and test that. I don't think it will.
Okay. So, okay.
That's the side beak.
A couple more with the goof file.
Yeah, a couple more. Why
Move
not?
on to the double bevel.
Why not? Yeah, I'm gonna advance this. Where are we at? Go up here, tighten that up. And it takes me about 20 minutes to square file a chain.
You also have been doing it for a long time. How long have you been doing this?
Yeah, I've been doing this for 15 years. I started round filing and I went over to square. I learned how to round file, and then I got Jerry's book, The Fundamentals of General Tree Work, about 2004. And then I started square filing. I ordered up the files from like Bailey's or Madsens. And then I went over to square filing full time because it just cuts faster and cleaner.
And also the chain grabs better when you're, trying to clean up a face cut or something. You're trying to cut into slanted wood. I've noticed it really cuts a lot smoother.
With true square grind, which the goof file is not. Remember that. I can't vouch for that side beak.
It's kind of a hybrid of
It is.
round filing and square filing.
It is.
Yeah,
So-
but I've raniered. I can't tell the difference. If you sharpen that chain, it feels
It's okay.
it cuts well.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So should we just go with
Yeah, do double bevel.
Yeah, are we done? Double bevel.
These are probably your most expensive ones, probably.
Yeah, they are. These are $13 now from like a bunch of different companies.
Right.
They all charge about the same amount. And again, I use this cheater cut at 40 degrees to determine, and I go
I'm gonna
chrome.
go back to the other side. Hold on.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, it's all good. All right.
And I go chrome first on this, meaning down into the tooth.
Okay.
And so if this thing is lying flatly across 2 or 3 chisels, minimum 2,
Yeah.
that's going to give you exactly the right chisel angle, not to be confused with top plate angle nor side plate angle. Chisel angle is like a door planer.
The chisel angle. And
Yeah.
Then you want to. So what's define side plate, top plate,
Okay.
chisel angle? Can you just what are all?
Yeah.
What am I looking at here?
Now, well, that's a craw. Okay, but now you're looking at side plate. I undercut it with a round file. That's the side plate.
Okay, the side of the tooth.
Side of the
side
tooth.
plate. Okay.
Top of the tooth. Top plate. We could say tooth angle, right? Side tooth angle, top tooth angle. Chisel angle is whether... Okay, so Buck and Billy Ray like get the gullet, and then he's got the gullet way out with his round file, and then he starts to pull up through the side plate, and that little chrome flake peels off with the last 2 or 3 strokes.
Yeah.
That is the chisel angle on a round file. It's that bit of concave, that concave surface.
Okay.
That's the chisel angle. When you're using true square grind, where the side plate and the top plate are severing the wood not quite equally, but at the same time, this surface on the inside of the tooth, like right in here, so this to be precise.
Should I get on the other side? Oh no.
I don't even
sorry.
know.
No, I
That's
see
the
it.
chisel angle right there.
Kind of in the corner.
Yeah, it's about 40 degrees usually.
Okay.
Down from the top
And
of the
that's
steel
with-
to the bottom of the steel. That's about 40 degrees down on
Okay.
square grind.
Okay.
Super nerdcore stuff.
And that allows for a lot more chip flow, right? Removing
Yes,
all
because
that
there's a bigger
material.
void through the tooth.
So larger chips can pass through.
Right.
Right.
Which is not true with that new steel hex file. I think they're trying to make it easier for homeowners who want to cut faster than round or whatever. I
Yeah,
don't know.
it's hard to it's hard to file square for
Yeah.
most people.
It takes a bit.
I can't really do it.
Yeah, and round file is super expedient, and you can get saws to cut super fast round file, but they will not clean up Dutchman as quickly if you're dropping a lot of trees fast and you're cutting a lot of fast, face cuts, and you want to clean up those Dutchmen quickly. You want square grind. Square grind cuts faster too.
Yeah.
So it's kind of worth it. But that's the double bevel.
Yeah, pretty much all the timber cutters on the West Coast they're cutting 4 or 5 footers every day. I mean, they're all running square chain, just because it's just so much wood to blast through,
Yeah, but the thing about a chain grinder is you have to take your chain off of the guide bar, and then you have to grind it, and then you have to put it back on the guide bar, then you have to properly tension it, and then you have to take your rakers down. So I'm like, let's skip, 2 or 3 steps and just do it this way. And in the end, we find, like, at East Side, we find that me hand filing or guys taking it off, throwing it on Simonton, it's pretty much a wash as far as the time expenditure.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's the double bevel. So you're pretty much at the same angle that you were with the triangle file. It seems like you're kind of at the same angle with all the files, really. It didn't seem really
right. Even though, and here's where weird geometry comes into play. Even though that top plate is only at about 15 or 20 degrees, the file's coming in at like 45 degrees. There's some weird geometry going on here. Or trigonometry. I don't even know what mathematical discipline we're even talking about. No, but I mean, look at that. That's 45 degrees.
Yeah.
But because of the angle, it's only... I can't even conceptualize what I'm trying to say.
Dude, have some more beer.
Right. Yeah, good. Yeah, and then I'll become really brilliant. I'll get smarter.
Yeah.
Or not.
Okay, so which file do you like the best?
I really, really like the double bevel file.
Okay.
I cannot boast that I've had any faster cuts than the triangle. So why do I like it more? I've had greater pull. So here's the thing about pull. Buck and Billy Ruth is like stand up and buck. When you're just cross cutting a log, that's only half what we do as tree guys. We make a ton of diagonal cuts to get the pieces to fall over. You can have super low rakers, like Jack Beeler uses rakers down to 50 thousandths of an inch. So a super grabby saw that's pulling really through, quickly through the cut. If Jack were not a genius motor builder, he would never ever be able to pull a chain that greedy through a diagonal cut. It won't happen. It's like Bucking calls it the low raker blues, right? Because it's burnt, and now you're trying to feather your saw. You're up there 100 feet in the air, and the guys are waiting on you. Burnt, dude. The saw won't cut. Yeah, because your rakers are down too low. Unless you've got all that power to pull it through. So a greedy, hard pulling chain is half of the problem. You have to have a smooth cutting chain in every application. Ooh. So if you're in a saw race contest, dude, go hungry side plates, go low rakers, because you can cross cut all day long. The moment you try to make a diagonal, whether conventional or Humboldt, it's not going to make it. So
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's this tricky balance.
But if you're a firewood guy and you're just processing firewood all day, then you can be more greedy on the rakers.
Yeah, get the goof file, make a nasty side hook, take your rakers down to 30 thousandths.
This is probably a good segue into doing the rakers, because we still have to do the rakers because they come so high and we've removed some metal. But is there anything else that you want to talk about in regards to square filing by hand in general, or in regards to these particular files?
No, all these files do essentially the same thing, but I preach at the guys at Eastside so hard, guys, and how many t-shirts does Buckin have to make that say get the gullet until we're all like, oh yeah, that really helps. I go, guys, scoop all this out, get it out, and then you're not fighting it, your file's not chattering when you do the square grinding thing. If you guys do that, this will just come super fast. We don't do it. It's because time is money. I just want to get this done. I'm just going to try what Jed said. Dude, it didn't work. The file's chattering. It's hard. Yeah, because you're fighting unnecessary metal. The one thing that I would preach, get on my soapbox and be like, do this first, get all that gullet out, and then hand filing's a breeze.
Okay. Jed, let me ask you, what's your favorite part about your job. What's your favorite thing that you do?
You know what? You know what really influenced me is that last video that you made, Jake, of that guy on the San Juan Islands. And he's like, I could really relate. And my best friend, Chris Marigulia, he could relate.
He owns Henry's Tree Service.
Henry,
That's
yeah.
Jed's shirt.
And I mean, Chris is like, in the end, like Chris, he's like the toughest human being that I know. And he's like the best tree guy that I personally know. And like for him, and I hate this about myself, but there's such a people-pleasing mechanism in us where it's like, I just want to make customers happy. Like I could totally relate to that guy in your video, man, on the San Juans. He's like,
yeah, Peter.
Yeah, like maybe, and it's not like my ego needs an attaboy, but when people are paying all this money, you know, to get this tree work done, and a lot of it, it's when they're super happy, I mean, that makes me happy too, but I don't know if that's my favorite part. What a lot of words to not answer your question, man. My favorite part, it is ineffable. I cannot express it. Stuff like today.
What's
like,
ineffable mean?
Cannot be put into words. Like seeing those tops hit the ground. I don't know. It's something about the trees themselves.
It's exciting.
Yeah, the way God set everything up, and then you're like a part of it. You feel like you're getting into nature in a weird way. I don't know. That's all very nerdy stuff, but that's the only way I could even try to express it.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's a good answer.
I doubt it.
I love you, Jed.
Dude, I love you. Today was so memorable. So, we're there. That side's done. That side.
Hey, Gordy! You wanna show us how to use your Raker guide?
Yeah.
What do I do?
So, this shorter one right here is kind of for the full comps. I'm kind of on backwards, but so that would be 25 thousandths, and then if you move back, that would be 35. This is the first plate that I ever made. This hole eventually got moved forward. So these two holes right now are the same, but on the new plate it goes 25, 35, and this is about 38 to 40. And then it goes into 50 on this last one.
But one side is for full comp and one's for skip tooth?
Yeah, if you get onto the smaller chains, you know.
Oh, it won't fit?
It won't fit because the tooth is back here really tight, so I had to make this one. But this one will work on either one.
Huh.
That's not your newest one? The new one looks different?
It looks exactly the same except for these two holes are like move forward more. Move this direction. So I can get a little more depth on it. So that's 25 thousandths right there.
Yeah.
Is that about where you want it?
Yeah.
Or you want to go deeper?
No, max. Hungry side plates.
It puts a nice angle on the front.
Okay.
Oh, right.
Canadian style.
So that it's not so blunt.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Oh.
I keep jumping around too.
So then, you know, obviously this is left raker, and then the other hole is for the right raker.
Okay. Nice.
So once you get going, it's relatively easy.
Oh, dude!
That's okay. Yeah, that's good.
You all right?
I'm so sorry.
I'm good.
I didn't see.
Yeah, that's good. It's
Oh, forgive me, man.
No, it's fine. It doesn't hurt when it's really sharp, you know.
It will when you just blood all over Gordon's.
It's not that much. It's fine. I shouldn't have been leaning on that.
You want to give this a shot, Jen?
Yeah.
And you haven't filed through one yet?
What's up?
You're not gonna file through that plate?
No. It'll take the color off of it, but it
Oh, man.
Dude, look, I promise. Yeah.
It's all good. I just need you got like a paper towel or
yeah,
something?
let me go get you one.
Thanks.
There you go.
Jed's trying to kill me.
I'm so sorry.
It's good. It really actually didn't hurt that bad.
Video is sponsored by Elysian. It's not Elysian. It's Elysian.
Yeah, I'll just hold that. Thanks.
Sorry, Jake, man.
It's fine, man.
Yeah, well, that's kind of cool.
Once you get the hang of her, she's
Yeah.
yeah, you got it now.
Okay. Yeah, because it's literally bottoming out, right?
Correct.
And you know you're there. So that's mentally satisfying if it dulls the file a little bit.
It won't dull the file.
No.
No, you'll be fine. It'll just come across that.
Okay. Oh, sorry, you got away, Jake?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
We've talked about this before in the old video. I do like how it makes it slanted like that. But we talked about this in the old video. You know, the rakers are super important because, you know, that regulates how big of a piece the tooth can grab. The raker, they're also called depth gauges. I think they're called some other things too. But, you know, the lower you take it, the more the tooth's going to grab. The higher it is, you know, the less it's going to grab. So we measure it because that's just the best way to do it with Gordy's raker gauge.
Your chain will always cut smoother. If you have one raker that's higher than the rest, it's going to chatter.
Yeah, so really important. Just measure your rakers. You know, a lot of guys don't do it, and it's really very easy to just measure your rakers. And then, you know, and it doesn't matter, you know, it doesn't matter if one tooth is half as long as another. If the rakers are measured, the relationship between the raker and the tooth, as long as that gap, that you know, that distance between the tooth and the raker is the same on each tooth, then each tooth is grabbing the same size piece of wood. And it doesn't matter if they're different lengths or anything.
It's super important. If a big 4-foot diameter cut, if you want your cuts to line up, you have to do the raker per tooth, individually per tooth. You have to.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
we're
just
there.
waiting for it to arrive.
We did it. Yeah, there's the
Sure.
gap.
All right.
You're all good.
All right.
Yeah, no, she'll cut.
Let's try it out. Let's see the difference.
I'll film you, Jake.
Okay. Sounds good. It's recording right now.
Dude,
So-
I will literally...
Just don't touch the red button.
No. And I don't think I did, man. But I touched some stuff on the sides.
It might have been when I handed it to you.
No.
Like, I might have pushed it.
Because I was zooming in and out.
You'll see the numbers. You see the numbers at the top of the screen too.
And that means it's rolling.
So,
Oh, man.
alright. So, you ready with your stopwatch? I am. Okay. So we just sharpened it, and we actually just did the cookies, but we accidentally turned off the camera. So we just sharpened it. There's like no taper in this log, guys, or no knots or anything. This is like an identical piece of wood from what we just cut. And what was it, Gordy? Like 37 seconds, 36? Okay, so it's 36 seconds the first time with just the factory brand new chain. Now Judd's sharpened it, and we're gonna try it again and see what we get.
No knots.
No knots, nothing. And once again, I'm just gonna cut straight
This is
through.
moss.
I might be able to cut faster if I rock the dog back and forth or something, but I'm just gonna do it straight
Try to
through.
do- try to do
just
the
for
same. Yeah?
consistency. Yeah.
We got greedy at the
Look
end.
at all these cookies. So it's like our first cut, and then Gordy messed up the stopwatch, and then Jed messed up the phone, and then I messed up the cut.
This video is sponsored by
Keep going. We're almost
Elysian.
out of log
No,
here.
Elysian.
All right,
Elysian.
ready?
it's interesting as you decrease in diameter, you start your manual pressure starts increasing, and it starts the saw starts bogging on the amount of chips. Yeah.
I got 22 on the one before.
Yeah.
So.
But pushing the same hardness, right?
Pushing the same, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me run the saw. You want to try? Yeah.
Gordy wants to be Jake.
Now it tapers significantly.
Oh, I'm sure.
But my chain's $2 now.
It's tiny now. All right, fine. You want to try, Gordy?
I don't know if the log's any smaller,
But you got it. You can't rock the dogs. You got to cut straight through like that.
yeah, no using.
I'm running the stopwatch. It's definitely gonna take.
No using
24
dogs,
seconds.
you dumb logger.
You didn't even shut it off. You let it run.
No, it's laps. Look, it's a lap. No. At least see the laps.
You'll have to go back in the camera.
No, it's, you see, yeah, the clock is still going, but if you look at lap 1,
I'm sure.
yeah, dude, you got it 28 seconds. That was 5 seconds faster. You must have dulled it when you were cutting that.
No way.
You hit the ground, dude.
No way.
Just
I
kidding.
don't know.
No, you didn't. I saw that. That was all bark on the ground. You didn't hit the ground.
Maybe you hit a knot or something.
Turn it off. It's still running.
It's not running still, dude. It's 28 seconds. It's
There's
locked
no
in.
knots.
How is it locked? You didn't even hit the button.
Okay, look, I'll hit stop because it's showing you laps. You see, you can do laps or, you know, so I hit lap right there. It's 28 seconds.
Why didn't you press stop? Then you
What
freeze
difference
it.
does it make?
Because you're cheating.
Like, you build the saws, I run the phone, okay?
Yeah.
You got 28 seconds. And you got sawdust in your shoes.
Oh man, I hate that.
Oh well.
All right.
Either way, it's a lot faster
You
than
won.
36 seconds.
Wow, we had recorded.
Man,
Jake won.
can't believe this is documented. and
You won
everything.
something, dude?
Well, he had to cheat, but he won cheating.
I didn't cheat. I just lapped it. Lapping, it still measures the time the same way. Here's your phone.
Saw's hot.
Either way, it's faster. So it's
Okay.
demonstrably
Okay.
faster, regardless of who's running it.
All
Or
right.
I got 22 seconds on one of
Those
them.
are pretty.
You want
these
to try
are-
cutting it, Jed? See how fast you cut it? Just for fun.
Maybe I'll give it a try.
All right.
Let's give it a try. Can I dog in or no?
No.
I think
No.
just straight through.
Just cut. Can I go like this? Because reciprocating, you're essentially cutting through like a 12-inch diameter log and then a 12-inch diameter log. You know?
yeah, I
Like
think
it's
that's better.
faster?
Try. Let's just try.
Yeah.
Let's see if it's faster.
I'll reciprocate.
Man.
So you can hear when it's starting to bog down, when it's grabbing too many chips and you let off a little bit.
Yeah. The times are all over the place, but no matter what times we got, it's nowhere close to as long as that first cut, 36 seconds. That 36-second cut was
Yeah, no.
brutal, so.
They're apples and oranges with the stock square
Right.
factory.
This is rather an anomalous piece of maple right here, being of this low taper.
Yeah, no
pretty-
taper, no knots, no
Yeah.
wood grain change, straight.
No, it's nice.
Yeah, we should have made this into furniture, but
Yeah. Yeah.
or soundboards, right,
Yeah,
for
that's what everybody
guitars.
says, and then,
Yeah, nobody does it.
No, yeah. Well, cool. So yeah, that's about everything I think about the square filing. I think that should be a pretty in-depth tutorial. I'll try to put in the description links where you can find all the files so that you don't have to go searching around. And if you have any questions, just write them in the comments. Hope you like that. you know, like and subscribe. Thanks for coming out, Jed.
I mean,
It was
fun.
a pleasure. I'm really grateful that you came out.
It was
for
fun.
that. So, all right, I'll see you guys later.